People who probably didn't like your skeleton pictures like your pictures of flowers.
Oh, they loved the, they loved the picture of flowers. I did a lot of those. Well, I love flowers, but I mean, I don't paint things because I love them. You know, it's because I want to find out about them. And so I got the best colours I could buy, the brightest colours, and I knew that flowers were bright and colourful and they made good pictures. I learned a lot from painting flowers. All people love those. But later on, when I went onto the Lancashire scenes, the factories and chimneys, people didn't like those. In fact, the Times said they couldn't understand why an artist could paint such ugly scenery. They wouldn't say that, no, because they got used to lowries and they got used to people painting the industrial scene. They come and they say, "How beautiful." But they didn't at the time. And then I painted rainy scenes. They liked them less. They didn't like the rain. But rain is beautiful. Everything in nature has a beauty.
Can I ask you why you've never signed one of your paintings, only on the reverse?
Well, if I paint a very calm coastal scene, very, very calm, now how am I going to sign that with an ordinary signature? It wouldn't fit. And if I painted a very rough, violent picture of skeletons and so on, how am I going to sign that in a different way? On the calm picture, it would demand a kind of calm signature. But on the violent picture, it would demand a violent signature. You can't do it. So I put it on the back. But I signed Major because I'm proud of my parents and family, all those people.
In one interview, you said, "These pictures are nothing to do with me." How did you mean that?
Well, I don't believe in self-expression at all. I believe when the artist is painting a picture in spirit, he should be out of the room, walking about the garden, playing football, doing something else. But no, you should never express yourself. You express the thing that you see in the thing that you're painting. Self-expression is rubbish.
Theo, this is the house where you paint.
Yeah.
How many paintings have you done during your lifetime?
Well over 3,000.
And you in fact had so many paintings that you had to buy this house because your
Yeah,
other one was so
yeah.
full.
I couldn't paint. There was nowhere to paint across the road, so I had to buy this one. And I'm very glad I did.
When you come over here to paint, do you stand up or do you sit, or what's your method of painting?
I always stand. If I was in a bus queue, you know, I'd be swaying and feeling I'm falling over. But when I'm painting, no. And no matter how big the picture is or how small the picture is, makes no difference. I have to stand.
Can you tell me something of how you spend your day?
Yes, well, I get up at 4:30 every day, winter and summer. But I love the summer and the spring because the light comes earlier. Sometimes I have to wait for a couple of hours in the winter before I can come across and paint. Because I can only paint in daylight. I don't like artificial light. It distorts the colours, changes the colours, especially yellow and blue.
Do you always paint in the morning?
Yes, yeah. And I go on until after 12 or 1 o'clock. And I get back across there. I clean up first. I always leave the palette clean. I get back and just flop on the couch. It takes me about 10 minutes to realise, you know, where I am. That's what it does. There's no using little tiny brushes and sitting down in an easy chair. It's a fight.
And when you've recovered, how do you spend the rest of your day?
Well, I write stories for children. And my little granddaughter, Ruth, she does the illustrations because they fit more beautifully than any adult illustrator could do.
You've always had a great love of children. In fact, I think you would prefer children to adults, wouldn't you?
Oh, much. Yeah, I love children. And when Kathleen was buried at Park Bowl, I just put on a tombstone, artist, Geoffrey Major, artist. But I've left word that when I die, I want the same with me, about me, Theodore Major, artist. But I want some words added. Two people who love children. Not two people who love children as though it's finished, because no matter where I am, I'll always love children. And no one will ever stop me from loving children. I love them because they're beautiful. And they're so much better in every way than adults.
What do you think is responsible for the change in children as they grow up? When do you think?
Their education and the people who they mix with and the television and what they see. No, they go worse as they grow older. But when they get very old and they realise that money is not important, then they become a little childlike, you know, to what they were. And they become more beautiful. That's why I paint young children and old people.
We've seen downstairs a picture of Mrs. Fairhurst, who
Yes.
was another of your characters. Will you tell me about her?
Oh, well, she worked for Kathleen and me when we lived in Swinley Road. And everyone thought she was a bit mad. But she wasn't. But she talked to herself. She's a marvellous person. But I couldn't get her to sit on the chair while I just made a sketch of it. I had to do everything from memory. I said, Mrs. Ferris, come on up to the studio, I want to paint you. Oh no, she's too busy. Doing housework, that was more important to her. But I've painted many pictures of her from memory. And I think some of those are some of the best I've painted.
Lowry's pictures show these crowds of isolated people, which you once described as rather like rows of knitting. In your pictures, the people always seem involved.
Oh yes, the people are alive to me. They're the most important thing in the picture. Even when I paint a still life with bottles and fruit, it's all a family. The big bottle, that's the mother, and then the father, then the children. I always related. I have so many little friends, and one was saying the other day, a little girl called Helen, and she was going out, and it was very cold, and the mother said, put your gloves on. And Helen looked for these gloves. She could only find one. And she said to her mother, I can't find its sister. This is what children can see that adults can't see. They make everything human. Marvellous. Another little girl, Emma, a different family, she brought me a picture and she said, I said, what is this, Emma? Adults are stupid, they often can't see what the child has done. And it was a circle, and then a smaller circle inside, roughly drawn in two eyes, two dots, done in black. And then she'd asked her mother for all the colours, all the coloured crayons, and she'd drawn all these colours coming out of the mouth. And she said it was a mummy laughing. Now that may not sound much to most people, but it's the most original idea I've ever come across.
Changing the subject a little bit, can you tell me how you reacted when the critic John Berger commented that your best canvases deserve to rank among the best English paintings of our time?
Well, I was very pleased that he could see that. But it doesn't give me pleasure because I never really feel I've painted them. No.
And another critic, Mervyn Levy, described you as the only religious painter working in England today.
Yeah. Well, I think I am. I think that's true. But not religious in the sense of church religion. A little train steaming across the countryside. That is religion. In fact, all the miracles in the Bible are nothing compared with the birth of a child, a baby.
Can I ask you this, Theo? When you're gone, what will happen to this great collection of paintings?
I don't care a bugger what happened to these paintings. Those people have never wanted my paintings. At one time I thought of setting fire to the lot of them. And now I can't prepare bowls like I used to do. I'm painting over the pictures. So sometimes some clever matty will take an X-ray copy and find another picture underneath. It may be better than the one on top. No, it's the struggle, it's the fight. And I believe that when a picture is painted, you're getting at some truth. And that truth is there before you paint the picture. And it will go on.
Theo, can you tell me that you've said you see a parallel between painting and nature? Do you believe that painting is a way of arriving at a truth?
Oh, without a doubt. That's all it is. That's all I'm interested in. In fact, at times I'm not much interested I'm not very interested in pictures. The idea of painting something so it'll look well on a wall with a gilt frame and so on, I've no interest in that. But I'm interested in getting at the truth, because when you get at the truth, you get at beauty. Beauty is truth, and truth is beauty. And if people can't understand that, the words of that poet, they don't understand anything about art. It's the only way, Geoffrey. There's so many people who think they've got the truth, all these religions, they think they've got it, they've got the whole truth. Well, they've not. But the artist knows that they've not got the truth, so he goes on. They should be thankful to the artists and the musicians. Those are the great men. And the poets.
What do you think of the church, Theo?
The Tate Gallery.
The church?
The church. Well, I think I love what Christ said, a lot of his sayings. But what the church is not what Christ said. There's a lot of bad in the church. The actual buildings are magnificent. The cathedrals and the church music, the early music of Tallis and Byrd and people like that is magnificent. And the stained glass, absolutely never surpassed. But that is the important thing in the church and the cathedrals.
Do you think some people would get more strength from looking at great paintings?
If they could only forget about pictures, and how much is this, and how much is that, and what can you sell this for? Most people buy pictures for investment. The people who just bought the Van Gogh, they bought it because they know in so many years they'll get double the £25 million. And when he was alive, this is what makes me very angry. He actually starved to death. He committed suicide in the end. The picture of the sunflowers, he painted half a dozen when his friend was going to come and stay with him, go again. Beautiful pictures. The price of that sunflower picture painting that they just sold was £25, and he couldn't get £25 for it. And they think, no, these artists, you know, so they're dealing with great sums of money.
Can you explain to me why a painting which couldn't be sold for £25 has now been sold for £25 million? Where's the connection?
They couldn't see it, Geoffrey. Just like they couldn't see my paintings. The industrial scenes, they couldn't see them at that time. But now I can get a big sum for them, which I won't do. No, my parents, and the people of that time who were alive when Van Gogh was struggling, they'd never heard about him. And people said they were crude and so on. There was an idiot, a real idiot, on ITV. They were talking about this sale. And they'd say how wicked it was to give such a price for a painting. It isn't a painting, it's what the painting says that they're giving the money for, because they can see the value.